Hey Mom, can I have a quarter? Hey, it's Fragorn here. Got an update on my Warbringer Totem Minion build. It's turning into more of a Totem build right now than Minions. Just because of the way things are working with skills and damage and how I'm scaling it. And lack of intelligence. You can see I'm still sitting at just 39 int. Overabundance of dexterity because I've got a bunch from gear and I don't need that much, but it's just come on the better pieces of gear that I've found. Only piece that I have that's really any good is this mace. It's on a low level now. I'm 38, it's 26, but it had a nice high physical damage roll. A little bit of added extra, a little leech. So it's not terrible. It's working okay. So what I'm doing for skills is using the still have Mace Strike as one of my best attacks. I'm using it to generate rage. Works great. Just regular auto attack. It's amazing. Ancestral Spirits. So I have these now. I finished my first Ascendancy relatively easily. Did the Sekima one. So what you get with this is when you summon a totem, you get a random spirit. Close these out so you can see what's happening. So that's a turtle. He's giving me a buff that gives me more defenses and better block chance. That's the warrior, or maybe some kind of warrior. He gives me a buff that gives me rage on hit and skill speed. He's a nice buff. The other one's nice too. That one's more offensive. It's more what I'm interested in. This is your guy. He doesn't give you a buff. He seems to be a gorilla of some sort with antlers. He does slams and runs around, hits enemies. And there's one other one. I'll see if I can proc her. There she is. I think she's a caster. She shoots what I believe to be chaos bolts, and she does a swirling spell that looks like Wither. I can't tell for sure because it doesn't say in the tooltip. So that's the 4. So they seem to be very hard to scale because they all do different things. The 2 main offensive melee guys, you seem like you could scale them. The turtle seems to do melee attacks, and he's got that turtle pushback that they had to. It's not very helpful. It actually moves guys away from my damage more than it's useful. And having a Chaos Bolt caster. So what I've done with the links for now, since I don't have much and they're kind of janky to scale, I just stuck poison on them. So they are poisoning a lot. I don't know if it's doing much damage, but it seems since she's putting out lots of withers, I'll have everybody poison, and now I have the skill where I can get 2 poisons on targets. So it seemed to get that up most of the time. It's probably doing a little bit of extra damage besides whatever their regular attack damage is. But what I'm doing to scale the damage is using totems, and they're working very well. So I've been fully invested into the totems. Got a little bit of life for them, a little more damage reduction, more attack speed when I summon a totem, so they buff me. I do have my extra 2, so I was able to drop the extra totem on there because the duration, where are you? I'm still not used to looking at these skills yet. Shockwave totem, there we go. If you use the extra totem to get 4, the duration goes down so much. And as it is right now with these minions not doing much, 3 of them up at a time seems to be fine for helping. So I'm just buffing that with cold infusion and faster attacks because it's a slow one. Its basic attack is 3 seconds. So getting a little quicker is a nice damage boost. You can see tooltip, it's going 253 from 199, so that's a nice boost. Basically 25%, and 215 to 253 for turning into cold. I like that. I'm not scaling any fire or lightning damage with that, so the downside is not a downside. It's just flat 25 extra damage. Can't wait to see what these things work like when I get more supports. Other stuff that I'm doing is, like I said, Maze Strike to mainly generate rage. Earthquake with Fist of War still. And then I buff that with lightning since I'm not really doing any cold or fire with that attack. It seems fine. You can actually use one of these infusions with 3 of your skills and they don't really counter each other because they're all independent of one another. It's kind of cool. Not using Unearth. I don't have those guys leveled up. They're like level 4. They die instantly. They're just there. Sunder's nice. Using it to create Jagged Ground and apply a bleed. Don't have any better skill gems for it. Still using Scavenge Plating as my only Spirit Reserver. Leap Span just to move around. Got the chance to trigger a shockwave when I take a step using this. That doesn't do anything really. It's just there. Leap Slam hits hard. I think this could be a main skill if you wanted to build it. It does hit really hard. Consumes fully broken to cause 500 more stun build up. If you were doing Warbringer, you could probably go Leap Slam and Armor Break and stun a lot with this. It's pretty good. It hits hard. You can tell when it's there, even not buffed with anything. Resonating Shield I'm not using, but it is my raise shield skill, so I activate that to raise my shield. The damage is incredibly low, as you can see. Enfeeble, still my main curse buff. I have the improved heightened curse on it. It usually debuffs bosses by like 15-16% with this buff on there, which is nice. It doesn't last very long. I wish the durations on these curses were more like 15 seconds, 12 seconds, like you could get them in by the Vexile 1. Maybe that'll come when I can level it up. I can't level it up because I don't have enough intelligence. And I added Shield Wall. Use Life Tap to make it cost life for a little mana, less mana wasted. And then Hourglass with a cooldown, because I don't need to put this up all the time, so that seemed like a good place to have that. So I got 2 skills with cooldowns really. Earthquake doesn't have a cooldown, but Fist of War, I don't use it any more than once every 6 seconds, so I get the little bump for that. So playstyle wise, I'm just running around dropping my totems, throwing in a Sunder to make the Jagged Ground if I'm in a good spot and I can get a good pack. If it's a bigger guy that needs an extra attack, I go up and hit him with the Earthquake, and then I just melee him with the Mace Strike. I'm not worrying about breaking armor right now. Since I added all those elemental supports, doesn't seem to be something to work on, so I'm not using the armor break skill. Okay, I have it disabled. I might have even thrown it in my... Yeah, I threw it in my stash. So, totems are doing the vast majority of my damage, and they're working pretty good. It's a very safe playstyle. You just drop your totems and let them work on the boss, and as soon as the boss does one of his big moves, you go in and drop an Earthquake. If you're way out of range, you hit a Sunder to get the Jagged Ground effect, so your totems are popping that off. So, it's pretty good. Life Leech, I have 10% Life Leech. You got 5 from a ring and 5. I have 11% Life Leech. I barely notice it. I don't know if it's doing anything. It doesn't allow me to stand and hit bosses like a true face tank. It's not there. So where I'm going to go with this build is I'm going to work towards the other totem, the one that lets you equip a slam inside of it, and probably put Sunder in there. I'm not sure. It's this one. You don't get that till you're 52. And I'm going to use that to level, focus on totems as my damage until I get into maps and start seeing what happens, and then possibly look to add a bunch of intelligence and go with minions more so. Go back to totems being supportive, but for now, that's not going to work with the gear and the attributes that I have, so it's definitely stick with more melee slams, totems, and they're working pretty good. So I haven't bought this skill yet. I'm gonna have to get this and try it. Gonna do that sometime today or tomorrow. Anyway, pushing through pretty well. Things are going good. I die once in a while. This stuff when I'm learning fights. Other than that, it's pretty safe playstyle. Trash packs are pretty much no problem. Clearing seems pretty good. So just exploring all the zones, taking my time, enjoying all the new scenery in the game. I just walked into this for the first time, so I got these purple flowers and stuff like that. It's a cool looking zone. So the game's really fun and going really good. So that's all I got for today. So please hit the like and subscribe, and hopefully this is helpful for anybody trying a similar build. Thanks. Bye bye.